Hi guys, welcome to the session. I thought I'll go live today and talk about what you need to focus on for tomorrow. So I thought a few things that come to mind, and I just thought that I'll go ahead and speak about what are the key things you want to remember when you're taking the cat. What are the key things you want to do today, and most importantly, what are the key things you want to do inside the exam tomorrow. So this is what I want to talk about in this video. So first of all, today, as I always tell people, the key on the day before the exam is to actually take pressure off yourself. So I'm quite sure, and I'm quite based on my experiences, I've realized that people have this tendency to be very nervous one day before, and you start feeling very anxious about the D-day, about the exam. So you need to do. I mean, basically, you need some kind of a pastime to get rid of the anxiety, to make time go a little bit faster. Maybe watch a movie, maybe watch a serial. You can go ahead and watch my YouTube video on Arun Sharma explains the Peaceful Warrior. That's a video that can help you for tomorrow. So which is why I've kept it open on YouTube. So you can watch it. It's a 3 hour this thing. It's based on a movie which I've done where I've explained this thing, and that video I'll actually tell you exactly what you need to do if you want a deeper or a deeper analysis of how you need to think inside the exam. You can do that. Otherwise, just put your time. I mean, I don't think you should be studying anything. You should keep focusing on what you need to do next after the cat. So let's say three things can happen for you in the cat. One thing is you can do better than what you felt than what you've been doing. The second is, which is of course rare. The second is you do as you're doing, and the third is you do below what you expect yourself to be doing. So in case the third thing happens, what is your recovery plan? What's your backup plan? Career recovery plan? And let's face it, who you are, whatever life stage you are in, there will always be a way back from a bad cat result. So think about that way back today. Keep that in the back of the mind. So the key point is to alleviate the pressure that you're facing. That's the key point for today's for the work you do today. And if I want to talk about in short for tomorrow on the D-day when you're going into the exam and you are inside the paper and things. Things can go bad in the exam. It does go bad for a lot of people. You're thrown off your plans because the cat exam will give you some surprises here or there. Maybe maybe an ambiguous RC question, maybe very tough verbal section. Anything can happen inside the exam. Maybe new kinds of questions which you have not practiced. So you have to be in a monk-like state in the exam. And by monk-like state, what I mean is that you have no space for emotions tomorrow. So just think of yourself as a sportsman or a player of any game, and you know these top athletes, whether you talk about any game. You talk about table tennis, you talk about badminton, you talk about tennis, you talk about cricket, hockey, football. These people are very strong in their mind. The top guys. The difference between the top guys and others who are equally skilled but don't make it to the top because of the performances not coming out on the D-days is mostly in the mental makeup. It's all, as they say, between the ears. So you have to understand the fact that every top athlete is trained to allow his instincts to take over. So if I am a tennis player and I've learned my backhand, my forehand, my service, and all those things, and I've learned and I've trained my body and trained my instinct to perform in a certain way. If I interfere in the instinct taking over during a match, what will happen is I'll not be able to actually use the training that I've done. So very similarly inside the cat, the same thing happens. So you have built your instinct, you have built your reactions through your practice. So allow those reactions to play out and don't interfere in the reactions playing out by don't allow interference to come into those reactions between your reaction, between the trained reactions, the practice reactions. There's a trained version of you who has taught himself to do so many things with respect to solving quants, DI, LR, verbal. So allow that trained version of you to be there inside the exam. So if you can maintain your trained version even for 100 odd minutes in the 120 minutes of the paper. I mean, we are all humans, so some kind of emotions will enter your mind, will cross your mind during and cross your state of being during the exam. So you cannot keep emotions out completely. We can't be like machines. So some kind of emotions will interfere in your thinking, but the key is how you can fight back from the emotions, against the emotions, and how you can keep your trained version performing during that time. Because you've experienced the same thing in your mock tests also. A lot of you keep coming back and telling me that when I take a mock test, I'm able to do 15 questions after the test. Inside the exam, I did only 7. So these are all indications that you're not allowing your trained version to operate, because your emotions and your anxiety is interfering with your performance. So tomorrow you don't want that to happen at any cost, right? So accept the fact that, I mean, let's say if you're scoring 110, 115 in your mocks, just allow your instincts to take over. If you're scoring only 70, don't look for a miracle tomorrow. Just focus on getting the 70, the score that you have got or that you're getting. Just focus on getting to that score so that you at least get value for your preparation. So make sure that tomorrow is completely about allowing your trained version to work. And if you don't allow your trained version to work inside the exam, because you allow either negative or positive emotions to interfere in your solving, you will end up making so many mistakes in the paper, or you'll have so many events and the exam is about events. You're going to have 60, 65, 70 questions in the exam. Be ready for 60 questions, be ready for 75 questions. Don't get perplexed with that. So the exam, the CAT is basically about events. You have got, let's say, if they repeat last year's paper structure, you have 4 events that will happen in your DILR section, 4 different questions. Let's say each of these questions is about 30 different events, 8 to 10 different events, where you are using a clue or using a part of the question to solve it. So maybe you have 40 events in the DILR section, which you need to control. You've got 22 events in the quant section, which you need to control. Every question is an event. So if you can control those events that are happening inside the exam, and the more you control them through the trained version of you has been trained to control those events. So allow the trained version of you to operate inside those 2 hours. Don't exactly what you don't need to do is worry about things, because worry is not going to help you, right? And that's an important question coming from Jatin. How much calculated risk to take? So you should have practiced or worked out those things through your mocks by now. And if you have been taking a calculated risk on 2 options, between 2 options, where you feel one is more, and it's working 60%, 70% of the time, even if it's working 50% of the times, you should then take the risk. But if a risk is working only 20% of the times and not working 80% of the times, then you should not be spending time on that, right? DILR section टफ होगा ही, वो मान के चलो. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि easy मिलेगा तुमको DILR section. Last year there was one completely obnoxious set in each of the slots, and one very easy set, and 2 sets were normal. So हो सकता है कि इस साल 2 बहुत ही obnoxious sets हैं, very tough sets. Be ready for that. अगर वैसे ही पेपर आ गए जहाँ पे एक बहुत difficult set है और एक easy है और 2 normal हैं, तब तो you operate the same way as you did last year, as you have researched the last year's paper. But what if there are 3 very, very difficult sets? Fight with them. I mean, you should have taught yourself by now to fight with difficult sets and come out of them. So at that point, when you realize that everything is tough in the paper, if you realize, chances are very low, there'll be at least two solvable sets, I feel. So find those, get at least, I mean, even if let's say 20 minutes के बाद अगर कुछ नहीं हुआ है तुम्हारा, so you have to go back to the trust you have created in your problem solving processes when you pick up the next question, right? You just wipe out that 20 minutes and you tell yourself, okay, the next 20, I've been doing sets in 12 minutes, so next 20 minutes I should be able to do 1.5 sets. So that'll be, you'll realize that will kind of give you a way back into the paper, right? So do work, do focus on that. और इस तरह के मतलब बार ड्राफ्ट वाले मोस्टली इजी होते हैं. ये इस तरह के प्री कंसीव नोशंस के साथ मत जाना वहाँ पे. डील विद द क्वेश्चन वंस यू रीड द क्वेश्चन. और DILR में भी व्हेन यू चूजिंग अ सेट 2-3 मिनट के बाद तुमको समझ में आ जाता है कि ये बहुत टफ सेट है कि नॉर्मल सेट है. एक टिप दे सकता हूँ मैं कि क्वेश्चंस को देख लेना. अगर क्वेश्चंस में विच ऑफ दिस कुड बी ट्रू और मस्ट बी ट्रू, कुड बी रॉन्ग, इस तरह के क्वेश्चन, दैट मीन्स दैट द सेट इज अ मल्टीपल पॉसिबिलिटी सिचुएशन. सो व्हेन यू आर सॉल्विंग, if you're not able to resolve कि अच्छा Amit lives in Bangalore and Ravi lives in Delhi, if you're not able to exactly resolve, that means that, and if the questions are supporting a multiple possibility set, it means that you not being able to resolve who lives where between 2 or 3 people is fine. It's part of the question. So don't try to get insecure, because the question will give you the clue whether the set is a set which has a definitive solution or it is a multiple possibility structure which is getting solved. So that's what I wanted to talk about, and I hope this was good for you. नहीं, अब कुछ रिवाइज मत करो. Don't revise anything. Just have a this thing, have a good night's sleep. Focus on that. और especially the people in the first lot. And मतलब साइकोलॉजिकल सेटिस्फैक्शन, जब जो भी करोगे वो साइकोलॉजिकल सेटिस्फैक्शन के लिए, तो वो मत करो. ठीक है. फॉर्मूले, ज्योमेट्री के फॉर्मूले देख सकते हो एक बार इफ़ यू वांट टू, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट नथिंग मच. राइट. चलो ठीक है. एक बार खुद को रिमाइंड कर लो. अगर एंग्जाइटी ज़्यादा हो रहा है तो एक RC पैसेज सॉल्व कर लो, कैट का ओरिजिनल. दिखा दो अपने आप को कि 3 out of 4 चल रहा है या 4 out of 4 चल रहा है. राइट. सो just remind yourself that you are actually able to do the CAT questions pretty okay. So that will give you the confidence कि I should be able to handle what is there in the exam tomorrow. And please remember, कल कुछ भी हो जाए एग्ज़ाम में, people like me will show you that the exam was easy. So there will always be that this thing, right? Yeah, we do GDPI preparations. We have reopened our Connaught Place office, so we are going to have physical classes also for 2022 at Delhi, specifically. So you can definitely contact us for that. Thank you so much. Bye bye.